a little bit of sun, a little bit of clouds, a Yucca Rostrata haircut, and a lot of storms coming in, all on this episode of New York Tropical Garden. Thanks for watching. Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I appreciate you watching as always. I am out here on one of the brief moments that it is sunny in my garden. It has just been non-stop rain. It's driving me crazy, but I'm at the very end. We are getting one more big storm tonight, and then I think I'm actually rain-free for a week at least. But it's been bad. It has rained every single day, like monsoon, bad storms, just constant rain. I'm a little worried about some of the plants just because it has been raining so much, and we are getting more rain today, even though it's really pretty and sunny, but you can see and hear the wind right now. The storm is on the way, and we've got warnings out. I hope all of you were able to see my midweek video, my first one that I was excited about. I did it on my Chilean wine palm hybrid. So if you haven't seen that, go back and watch it. I posted it on Wednesday, so it should be in the bank of stuff to watch. And this week, I'm going to take you through as much as I can. I did some in the rain. I'm trying to do some videos today just because I don't want all of you to be watching rain sequences all the time, but I've got a rainbow in there somewhere. There's a lot of wet plants, and I'm going to take you through a few perennials too, and I'm looking at it right now, and I'm also going to show you what I did with my yuccas this week, my Yucca Rostrata. So I hope you enjoy it, and please like and subscribe, please comment. I have so much fun interacting with all of you so much. It is just a joy. I always look forward to Saturdays when I post this video, because then all the comments start coming in, and I get really happy because I have friends that I've never met, but I get to talk with everybody all over the world, and that's really exciting. I never show my Bismarckias. They are not fully in the ground. They're in pots in the ground. This is the one my friend Paul gave me for my birthday, and there's new growth on it. And I'm just happy I got it through the winter because I was nervous about that one. And then this is my very slow growing old one that I've had for several years. It has some new growth on it, but it's growing really slowly, also in a pot. My Lotus are still growing strong. It's really warm, so hopefully they will take off now. I'm excited about them. And my Basil, or Basil, is finally taking off. It was so small forever, but I think the warm weather is helping, and maybe the rain, maybe. I am out here giving my Yucca Rostrata a haircut, and I'm using these nice little sharp scissors here, or clippers here, because this takes a while, and you do not want anything that's not sharp because it will drive you crazy. And you also need to wear gloves, because even though this part right here is somewhat pointed, that's not the problem. It's actually the leaves themselves are really kind of sharp on the edges, and that will just cut your hands up, because that's what happened to me because I wasn't wearing gloves because I'm stupid. Anyway, I'm out here and I'm trying to do a pattern on this. And so basically what I'm doing is going in one direction, and I'm cutting at an angle, and I'm going to zoom in on that in a second and show you. But if you cut on an angle, it really gives a nice look. Now, if you look down below down here, you can see over the years I did not do that, and it doesn't look as pretty. But now I'm perfecting my hair cutting ability on my Yucca Rostrata. And here you can see my diagonal cuts on this. And I just think it gives it a really fun look. I'm not done with it yet, obviously, there, but if you do it right, it looks fantastic. And you can see here down below I didn't do as good of a job. I'm getting better at this. I'm honing my skill, and I think doing this every year kind of gets rid of all that deadness that's on it, and I think it looks pretty sharp like this. It definitely doesn't look wild now, but this is around the pool, so it doesn't really need to look so natural. It can look a little clipped up, I'm saying. So some of you may not like this, some of you may like it, but I think if I had it anywhere else other than the pool, if it was like in a cactus garden or in a more natural setting, I probably would let it have a skirt on it. But because I want to retain the view when you're in the pool, I think it's a better choice, and it gives it a little bit more dramatic effect, and it makes it look taller as well. Over here by my amaryllis that I have in the ground is this really horrible weed that I think is in the morning glory family. It just wraps itself around everything. It has really tiny little ugly flowers, and it appears everywhere. Here it's up close, but it just is all in my garden. I'm constantly pulling it out, and here it is even over on my pindo palm. I do not like it at all. When you are doing any kind of construction, like I'm getting a new screen door, I always look at everything I have and go, wait, that glass panel could be the front of a winter palm box. So don't throw things like this out. This could be really good. I'm going to save this. Last night it was so humid here, and the smell of these flowers, because some of them were blooming, was just incredible in my living room upstairs. And I need to move these up on the patio, especially when it's this humid, because the smell is so much better when it's humid out. And while I'm over here, here's one of the Datura, which is in the same family, just as poisonous, but the flowers tend to go up rather than down, like the trumpet flowers of the Brugmansia. Another pretty plant that comes up everywhere, but I like that one. I'm just looking over here. I'm a little worried about my olive tree. It had so many buds for flowers, but it has rained so much. I'm sure it is not happy at all right now. We will see. I'm just a little worried. I thought I was going to have so many olives this year, and now I'm not so sure with the constant rain and constant storms coming in. And even up in here, my Trachycarpus that's up by the house, I was looking on all the lower branches and thought I had no seeds, but clearly I have seeds. You just have to look up. And I don't know how these got pollinated, but they did somehow, some way. And at least I have a few seeds this year. In the past, I've had a lot, and some years I've had no seeds. My Musa Basjoo is still flowering. It started so early this year, and it really does look like Audrey from Little Shop of Horrors, the movie or the play right now, which I think is pretty funny. But of course that plant will die after it finishes blooming, and then hopefully we'll have more pups coming up. But the bananas are big this year up by the house because of all the rain, and even the ones that died to the ground are starting to come up and look pretty good out there. And here's just my hardy orange here, and the rain, all the wetness of it all, and the fog out on the river. So sick of this rainy weather here, but hopefully the plants are liking it. That remains to be seen. We'll see what happens when this heat spell finally kicks in at the end of this week. But the Petasites is happy. I am still waiting for my cactus to bloom, and it's taking its time. But the jasmine is still blooming after all this time. It's, I think, just because it's been raining so much and not sunny, that I've gotten longer blooms out of this than normal, and it smells great out here. And here's my Buddha's hand here. It was near death a couple of years ago. It's still taking its time to come back, but I have been fertilizing it a lot, and it seems to slowly, very slowly, be coming back to life, which is always good when you can save a plant that you thought was gone. The hardy prickly pears that are yellow are finally blooming. They're just such a pretty flower. It always amazes me that you can get such a beautiful flower from cactus, and the bees are loving it, and there's still so many that have yet to bloom, and I just think they're gorgeous and so easy to care for other than weeding around them. That's the only diabolical crazy thing about them. Weeding is very difficult because the needles are so tiny and very sharp, and they stick in you constantly. And I love lavender. I just wish it would grow better here. It likes the wall, and that's about it. It struggles. And so much new growth on my Cholla. It is leaning a little bit more than I want it to, but it is really pretty and really sharp. But I do love it. And it didn't bloom this year. Sometimes it blooms. It did not bloom. Even the prickly pears that I put in pots last year, barely even pots, they're such tiny little containers, are blooming. It's amazing how these will live through the winter like that. And here you can see my pawpaws out in the field. They're really starting to grow. They're starting to take shape. I love the tropical looking leaves on these, and these are native to the United States. And it's really not zone pushing at all because they are in this zone and you can find them in the wild. But I do like them. I do like the taste of them. And they're really nice fruit that you can't find in the grocery stores or in markets here at all, really. It's just, you have to know someone who grows them. And just like clockwork, the Echinacea knows that it's time to bloom because it's almost officially summer. And I planted this way up on the hill. It didn't like it on the hill, and they all just gravitated down by the pool around the palms, which was not really what I wanted, but that's where they live now. One benefit of all the storms is that you get some really pretty rainbows. And this is not the best rainbow, but I think it's still foretelling that just in a day or two, hopefully the monsoon daily rains will be finished. And I do like the fog coming in off the river right now. I think that's really pretty. There's something so romantic and mysterious about fog, especially when it's on the river. I love it kind of wafting up the hill. It's just a fun, mysterious thing to have coming through the garden. Even though I'd really like some sun, a lot of sun, but it's on the way. Now back to sunny days. My Magnolia is starting to bloom again. It's blooming like 1 week and then it doesn't bloom and then it puts out another bloom. But it's nice and it smells fantastic, which I really love. And I thought I would just show that my Yucca Rostrata it's going to bloom soon. It's still growing. It's amazing how much it has grown in a week there. But hopefully soon I will be posting beautiful flowers on top of this yucca. And just a nice view from in the pool. Since it's sunny for a brief moment in time here, I thought I'd better get it in while it lasts before the monsoon starts. Okay, it's time for my favorite thing of the week. Garden meltdown of the week. It's really not a meltdown, but it has to be the weather this time. The weather is just so crazy bad. It is beautiful right now. It is so hot. It is 90 degrees right now. It feels fantastic, but we've got major storms coming in tonight. It has rained probably every day since last video. And when I say rain, I'm not just talking about a little bit of rain. I'm talking about a lot of rain. I mean, just buckets and buckets of rain. And then I have friends in Germany and in Europe who are like, it hasn't rained here in 2 weeks. And I'm like, why can't I have a dry spell and give you some of the rain? But I think after tonight, I am rain clear for maybe a whole week, maybe. maybe. But it's so nice out right now, and I just can't believe that storms are on the way. Like, it is just, it feels fantastic. The palms are blowing in the wind. It's just amazing, and I would never even think that there are storms on the way other than it's so nice and hot. I am honestly just happy I got this video out. I was so nervous because I just couldn't film every day. So I hope you got something out of it. I always enjoy making these and showing you what's going on in the garden. And if you could, just tell me what's going on in your garden too, and what tropicals you're having fun with, or even perennials or even annuals. I would love to hear what's happening and what part of the world you're in. And I hope you've enjoyed it, and please look for me midweek next week. I can't blame the weather next week because it's supposed to be nice, and I'm going to do my midweek one plant idea, and then next week I'm going to do the full garden tour. At least, fingers crossed, that is the plan. So thank you so much for watching as usual, and have a good week in your garden.